and today you find me on the southeast section of the Chatham Main Line at a very interesting station, to say the least, Aylesham.
And you'll find today's station between Aylesham and Snowdown. Aylesham was opened in 1928 by the Southern Railway as Aylesham Halt and was sparsely populated with buildings. Indeed, two huts at the southern end of the platforms served as booking offices with brick-built shelters. These shelters, however, were a little grander, being the size of a small house. 3 sidings were put in place on the western side, but they have disappeared by 1958. The station was busy, however, with a small clothing factory close to the downside. It is also reported that Saturdays were particularly busy, with colliery workers and their families using the station to go to Canterbury and the Kent coast. 1958 saw platform lengthening and electric lighting installed, but it was the late 1960s which saw the start of many changes. The halt suffix was dropped and the existing buildings were demolished to be replaced by a clasp ticket office, a concrete footbridge and waiting shelters. The latter, however, were also demolished in 1989 and replaced with bus-style ones. Despite this downgrade in building infrastructure, it still remains a charming station, as we shall see now.
Now, in the introduction I said very interesting to say the least. I was expecting something a little bit more grander than what I got when I got here, but if I spin the camera around, you'll see it's the dreaded clasp building. It's nice to have a station building and nice to have an open ticket office, don't get me wrong, but I really was expecting a very nice station building when I got here. Obviously I came down here today on a bit of a whim with no research, so it's here. But nevertheless, it's still a very, very nice station and some fantastic views up and down the line. Let's have a little explore and see what we can see. In light of the current climate, I really shouldn't bemoan any sort of ticket office. It's nice to see something here that a customer, a rail traveller indeed, can come and still buy a ticket. It is open until at least 1:10 in the afternoon. I'm a little bit too late to actually look inside. However, there is quite a good view inside, so I'll have a look at that in a moment. But as you come in from the car park, there's doors there to the ticket office from that little walkway. There's a defibrillator on the door, and there is a automatic ticketing machine for when the ticket office is closed. And here's the entrance into the ticket office itself. I'll just put my camera up, you can see a little bit of a bonk as normal. The actual ticketing desk is there on your right hand side. There's a few amounts of seating in there, which is quite nice to see. There is a very extensive, by the look of it, lending library in here. There's one there, and there's also, if you can see it, one down there as well. Let's see if I can get a better view of that. One down there, which I would like to have had a look at, but obviously being a little bit late, I could not make that. It is, as I said, very nice to see a ticket office still being used, though, especially for the peak times, and by the look of it, there is a sense of community being used within it, so that's very nice. There's a little wall heater over there as well, so it doesn't get too cold in the winter months. Overall, quite a pleasant clasp style building, but it is of its time, unfortunately. There's seating along the platform here underneath this canopy, which has lighting, resistance point and a bin. And carry on down. There's more seating on the actual platform itself, which is quite good. And as you can see, as you go further down, there's a road overbridge there, and the line curves away towards Faversham in that direction. I know they're the scourge of the network, but it's nice to see trees around the line. And in fact, in this autumn style setting, it actually makes this station look very, very traditional. There's some of this 1950s, 60s fencing here, which is amazing. It's still going. Some of this is, other places already crumbled away, but they've managed to stick one of the station signages up onto it, so it still must be good. And not too much of a thing here, so I'm right on the edge of the yellow line, so you want to get a view down the line, you just have to lean out very slightly. Let's do a little bit of a zoom in on the curvature around there. So not the most fantastic of views. I would imagine it's going to be a little bit better than the other platform. I'll have a look at that in a moment. One of the reasons why I like walking around these stations is to see if I can find some old station signage. And it's certainly in evidence over on platform 2 over here. If I spin you round, here's an old gradient marker, which does need a little bit of TLC, but at least it's still there. Just underneath the footbridge, you will find these bike racks. And talking of the footbridge, let's go over and see what we can find on platform 2. Yet again, crossing the footbridge doesn't disappoint. There are some fabulous views to be had along the line up towards Faversham. Although the views down towards Dover, not so much. But still quite nice with the bridge there. I'd imagine it would make for some very nice photography if a steam rail tour was coming through. It does give you a very good overview of how nice this station actually is. You first come in, you think, oh, it's a little bit drab, but with the trees either side, it really has a little bit of character. Right then, let's get down to the bottom of these stairs. You'll see a bin, some seating, and indeed waiting shelter, which is enclosed at the top, but obviously we're a bit below because there's no sort of like retaining wall there. But at least it's something. These small little benches I'm not really a fan of, but it does give you somewhere to sit, I suppose. Of course, both platforms benefit from dot matrix displays, and of course from platform 2 you get a view of this absolutely fabulous 1960s, 1970s style class building. What a fabulous structure that is. So what you can do is walk up past the car park, up these steps. It'll take you to the roadway now. It's quite a busy little road this, but I'll aim to cross. And of course you're going to get quite a good view. Oh, that's a fabulous view actually. It's the first time I've seen it. Straight as a die. Look at that, right the way down. That's quite impressive. And if you had a charter train coming through here, I imagine you can get some very good views from up on top of this bridge. I imagine there has been some very good photographs and videos done from here. So yeah, that's a nice little gem, and doesn't really take you far to walk to find that. That's very nice indeed. Just telling you, there's some step-free access a little bit further along down to the station. I'm going to take the steps back down and wrap this one up.
The statistics for Aylesham are that it opened in 1928. Currently at time of filming it has 1 train per hour in each direction, but this is increased during the peak time hours. And the entry and exit figures for 2022-2023 were 109,192.
Aylesham is a very nice station indeed, even if it does have an old 1960s, 1970s style class building. The general surroundings are absolutely pleasant, lots of trees and foliage, and overall good sight lines for the railway enthusiast. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you can, get out there, get on the railway and see where it takes you. Thanks very much for watching.